Hey, what's up, guys? BSG TrekFan88 here, and sorry about that. I have a day off tomorrow, so I figured I'd talk about something. Since I was about 15 or 16, no BS, I've always wanted to own a really nice camera. You know, ever since I was a kid, I've always had, you know, your typical sorry about that, heartburn, play camera. And, you know, fast forward a few years, you know, I had a couple of point and shoots, just basic cameras. And then 2 years ago, I purchased a Panasonic point and shoot, which had a long zoom on it, 10 megapixels, a really nice camera. That Panasonic Lumix camera is what I brought to Washington, D.C. the first time I went, and it did not let me down. You know, it recorded 720p pictures, movies. It got me some great photos, but, you know, being the technological guy that I am, and being the kind of guy that doesn't settle for the very bottom when it comes to technology, I have wanted a SLR camera for quite a few years now. And last November, I said, you know what, screw it. Heck with bills, you know, screw it, I'm gonna buy one. And I did a lot of research. You know, I watched a lot of video reviews, I read up a lot of older blogs and forums, the Phronos, Photo, Snapchick, digitalrevtv.com/YouTube, a lot of places, and I narrowed on this. And I've had this camera for pretty much, we'll call it a year this week. This, alright, if I turn it on, this is the Nikon D3100 digital SLR camera, okay? Now, it has been since replaced by the D3200, but as far as I'm concerned, for its money and for its performance and value, it's probably one of the best entry-level cameras, entry-level DSLRs you can buy. Now, I used to know all the specs off the back of my head here, so I'm going to look this up real quick, just so I can give you the rundown here. So, this is a, and again, you know, hold on, let me get myself back here. This is an entry-level SLR, okay? It's not a pro, it's not a right below pro, it's entry-level. But to be completely honest with you, I think even somebody in the novice section looking for an inexpensive entry to SLRs, or a replacement, or a quick go-to camera, whatever, this camera has not let me down. And again, or not again, but as well as the fact that it really depends on the lens that you're using, and not just the camera body, but I have not been disappointed with this camera once. And I don't think I've outgrown this just quite yet, mainly given the the bills that I have right now. If I really wanted to, could I get another one and sell this? Yes, but as my first SLR, it'd be really hard to do so. But the Nikon D3100, it's 14.2 megapixels. It records, as I know, in 1080p full video at 24 frames per second. It has 11 autofocus points. It has built-in HDMI port, which it does, so you can connect it directly to your television set. It comes with a kit lens, which I still have to right at this moment, of 18 to 55 millimeters. ISO sensitivity from 100 to 3200, which at 3200, tweaking it with Lightroom, or probably the Apple equivalent, you can get pretty usable shots. It does go up to, I think, 6400. Let me read this here. 128,000 equivalent. That's really rough, but if you need to, you can use it. This is not a review of the camera itself. I'm just kind of going over the features. Scene recognition. It's one of the first Nikons, believe it or not, to, I think it might be the first. You know, the D5100 can also do this, where it will record 1080p video in autofocus on its own, which for an SLR from Nikon, you know, a year ago or a year and a half ago, couldn't do. You know, the D3000 didn't even take video, I think. In-camera editing, no one really uses that, but it's nice to have on the fly. Automatic sensor cleaning, that's a big thing, because the Canon equivalent of their very entry-level SLR, the T3, I think it was, didn't have it. Now, you can kind of play off that, oh, it's just a gimmick. It's nice to have. It's just nice. It's a nice feature to have in an entry-level SLR, which previously no one did. 6 automatic exposure frames. That's portrait, landscape, etc. Macro, picture controls, pop-up flash, compact, lightweight design, whatever. Okay, enough of the official website. This camera I have had for a year this week. I bought it after Black Friday. I put it on layaway at Walmart where I worked. God forbid. And I said, screw it, rather than wait until Christmas, I just paid it off, and I've put some money into it. This camera has not let me down. Hopefully I'm showing you some images as we speak, but this camera has gone to Battleship Cove, it's gone to Boston, it's gone to Washington, D.C. once, and it's going back again this coming January. I have purchased the Nikon DX AFS 35mm 1.8G prime lens, which is the lens that you see on it right now, which I did an unboxing of and a review of on my previous video, and I absolutely love it. In my camera bag here, this is the 18 to 55mm prime lens, and of course the 55 to 200 automatic focus VR lens from Nikkor, which is a great secondary buy if you buy the kit with the kit lens. This is going to be replaced. I'm selling this on eBay, the Nikon kit lens, for $70 for best offer, which is the lowest on eBay, period. I've already purchased a replacement lens, so if you want this, let me know. But you know, I have 3 lenses for this camera, and this is kind of just an overview video. This camera, for an entry-level SLR, offers you a wide variety of options. It introduces you to the world of SLR photography. You know, when you go from a simple point and shoot, whether it's Canon or Nikon or Olympus or Panasonic or Sony, you know, to go from this to this, all right, it takes quite a bit. It's not hard to do. In fact, with today's digital SLR market, I'm not talking about mirrorless cameras or all that jazz. You know, the way the menu systems work, the way the camera is laid out, button and configuration wise. Oh, look at that! It's like Inception. There you go. There's my computer monitor recording me. There it is. Anyway, to go from this to this, you know, you have to look at the average person, what they want. I mean, everybody takes pictures with their phone. I take pictures with my phone. I hate doing it because I don't like leaving this at home, but as small as this is for a entry-level SLR, you know, even this, which is amazing, you know, you always have your phone on you. What I've learned over the past year working with an SLR is I absolutely love going into the menu settings, you know, aperture, ISO, shutter speed, scene mode, macro mode, exposure compensation, all that shit and all that gobbledygook that a lot of you could care less about, and then some of you that are professional photographers or entry level or novices like me, we care about. You know, I'm the kind of guy that, like, for instance, when I go to DC, which, to be honest, takes some money. I'm only there for 3 or 4 days. I want to get the very best photos I can. I'm the kind of guy that when I'm taking a picture of a sunset or a sunrise or an object of some kind, I take like 20 different shots. I sit there and I go through the settings. And a pro photographer will know exactly what they need. I don't know that 100%. I'm a novice. I don't rely on a point and shoot and leaving it on automatic mode to get the best picture, okay? I go in manual mode or program or aperture mode, if anything. But anyway, this video, which is supposed to be quick, the Nikon D3100 is technically now obsolete with the D3200 and D5200. You can get this camera with the kit lens for, I think, $500 with tax. If you're anything into photography, and if you want to get into DSLR photography, had a few beverages. The D3100 is a very inexpensive option, and of course, being the DX format, you can still buy, Jesus, I don't know, 10 or 20 lenses for it. Again, this is not a review of the camera itself. This is kind of just an overview. I realized that I purchased this a week ago, a year and a week ago. So this camera has gone through a lot. Are there some things that I kind of don't like? Yeah, sure. Are there some things that I love? Absolutely. But overall, the Nikon D3100 is one of the cameras, and I've played with a lot of them. Again, going back to testing them, reading about them, going into different stores, not just Best Buy, not just Sears, Walmart, Target, any store that had this and other cameras available. It's one of the few cameras that, instantly when you turn it on, regardless of the settings, it's ready to go. So anyway, BSG Trek Fan 88 here for a quick video. The Nikon D3100 digital SLR 14 megapixel camera. If you're into photography or you want to get into photography, please look at this camera. I mean, I'm not going to say look at it before the alternatives, but for its price point versus the next level up or the reversion of it, which is the D3200, for the price point, honestly, the way that this camera is laid out, the button configuration, the way the menu is, I actually prefer this camera over the D3200. One of the simple things, if you're like me where you're not going to use this for video primarily, like you maybe have a point and shoot like this specifically for video, but on the back, look it up, the Nikon, the D3100's live view mode, which is literally a switch like that. It's so much easier than an actual button or going into menus, but that's another story completely. Anyway, the D3100, give it a chance. All right, this is BSG Trek Fan 88 signing out. See ya.
Welcome on board Transflight 1407 to Seoul. We are now cruising at an altitude of 30,000 feet, and our airspeed is 530 miles per hour. Please keep your seatbelt fastened and enjoy your flight.